The information provided by Trading Forex Price Action to you does not constitute personal financial advice. The information provided is of a general nature only and does not take into account your individual objectives, financial situation, or needs. It should not be used, relied upon, or treated as a substitute for specific professional advice.
Forex Recap!
Hey guys, this is a Forex Recap for December of 2020 through December of 2021. Alright, let's cover the dollar yen. Okay, this is a weekly chart. So roughly in December of 2020, there was a strong long trade that formed right here with the stop loss at this pivot low right here. And so if you recall, I took a long entry right up to these 109 areas right here, where I took out the entire position roughly in these areas right here, due to the possibility that this long trade hit its main target at a monthly strong trendline level that runs right through these levels. However, if you recall, I was mentioning that there was confirmation of long strength on the lower time frames. So price came right up to these levels right here and came right back down. Now at this point right here, if you recall, there was actually a strong daily long trade that formed with a stop loss at this pivot low right here. And so I took a long entry right up to these levels right here, where I took out 90% of that long position roughly in these areas, due to the possibility that in fact this weekly long trade did hit its target at that monthly trend line level. However, right after that on the daily chart, there were consecutive weak short trades that formed and consecutive strong long trades that formed, which is a common price action setup that shows strong long strength. And so I kept 10% of that position in all the way up to these levels right here, where actually another strong weekly short trade formed right here. And then the following week, there was a weak long trade that formed. And so at this point, the bias was short. Or in other words, price was likely to reach this pivot low right here before reaching this pivot high. So in other words, the main stop loss level will be right here, while the main target is at this level right here. And so as price pulled back in these areas, I was looking for short entries on the lower time frames, and 2 weeks later that main target was hit right here, and simultaneously there was another weak long trade that formed. So again, the bias remained short. However, now the bias was stating that price is likely to reach this pivot low right here before reaching this pivot high. And so as price ranged through these areas right here, because we got a pullback roughly in these levels right here, minimizing the risk for a short trade for the stop losses at this level right here. If you recall, I took a short entry right here. However, due to the fact that this time period was during the month of August and the beginning of September, price just really ranged about for 2 months in these areas right here due to low liquidity. And moreover, because price ranged for 2 months, price was actually able to make 2 strong monthly trend lines that run right through these levels right here, which could possibly act as a target for this weekly short trade. And moreover, as price pulled back to these levels right here, if you recall, lower time frame confirmation was confirming that in fact this weekly short trade's target was hit at these new monthly trendline levels, and also now changed the bias into long, or in other words, price was now likely to reach this pivot high before reaching this pivot low. So now the weekly bias was reversed into long, or in other words, the main stop loss level was at this level, while the main target was at this level at this point. And so if you recall, I bore the entire short trade roughly in these areas right here. And in the following 2 weeks, that main target for this weekly bias was hit at this point right here. Okay, and if you're having trouble understanding what I'm talking about in terms of weekly biases and strong and weak trades, please watch my price action trading course. For that course is designed to provide you the necessary information so you can understand these forecasts. Okay, so proceeding after the weekly long bias's main target was hit at this point right here, price just continued on to extension targets right up to these levels right here. Well, actually another strong short trade formed right here. However, this weekly short trade hit its target at a monthly gap level that runs right through these levels right here. And then moreover, there was a weak long trade that formed right here. So at this point, typically, since this weekly short trade is stronger than this long trade, typically the bias will be short. However, this weekly short trade, like I mentioned, hit its target at a monthly gap level that runs right through these levels. And so at this point, the bias actually became long. Or in other words, price was likely to reach this pivot high right here before reaching this pivot low. And moreover, on the lower time frames in these areas right here, the lower price action was confirming strong long strength, and that simultaneously confirms that this weekly short trade did in fact hit its main target at the monthly gap level right here. Okay, and as the end of the year approached all the way up to these levels right here, that main target for this long bias was hit right here. Okay, and for an up-to-date forecast of current and future price, please watch the weekly forecast and midweek analysis series. Okay, so that's it for this Forex recap. I hope you guys have a great day, and thanks for watching. Okay, bye.